What is up, YouTube? Dr.Debuff here with a brand new Pokemon Pocket video. But today, we're going to be reviewing all the new cards from the newest set. So, let's get it. So first, we got Dr.Debuff. Also, I am live, which I knew could grab something real quick. Alright, I have returned. Alright, so first we got Punch for 10 damage, colorless, 60 HP. No. Anyways, we got Ledian. Says 40 damage, isn't affected by weakness or any effects. So what effects means, and this is kind of what everybody else has been figuring out, effects means it bypasses abilities, which is pretty crazy. And it's a colorless attacker, but you can also put a leaf cape on that thing, so that's pretty cool. Then we got Shuckle. So during your opponent's next turn, one takes minus 20 damage, but it does have 2 energies. Put a leaf cape on that, you know, he's about 110 HP. That's pretty good. Okay. Trip over. Flip a coin if it has 30 more damage. That's a really good attack. Yeah, Roserade. Poison Ring. Does 50 damage for 2 grass energies. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. During your opponent's next turn, they can't retreat. Oh my gosh. You are just what I've been looking for. A Pokemon who can make my opponent cannot retreat. With Nihilego, that's 5, 6, 7, 8. So you're doing 80 damage for 2 energies while not being able to retreat. Is kind of crazy. He's kind of like Dustox, but instead of the paralysis, and a stage 1, which can be with the grass bullet. We have Cacnea, which is 30 damage for 2 energies, kind of meh. We have Cacturn, 3 energies. If your opponent's active Pokemon has damage on it, this attack does 60 more damage. 3 energies has a chance to do 120. I mean, it's kind of like Entei. So we have Chespin, 30 damage. Cool it in. Then we have Chesnaught, 160. During your opponent's next turn, if this Pokemon is damaged by an attack, do 80 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. Whoa. Golly, that thing is a little bit of a beef. The damage is underwhelming, but his effect is good. So we have Scatterbug, we have Sweppa. It's just twitched. Sweppa, put a random card that evolves from Sweppa from your deck into your hand. So that's actually really good, because you can combo that with a Grass Bullet to get Sweppa. So hopefully his evolution is really correct. Are you kidding me? So 60 damage, right? With double Nihilego, that's 90 damage. And your opponent's asleep. It's like you kind of just win. I want to make this deck immediately. We got the new Buzzwole. If your opponent has gotten exactly 1 point, no. Anyways, we have Glossifleur, 20 damage for 1 energy. We have Eldegoss. I've never played like that game all the way. You may shuffle this Pokemon and all the cards attached to it into your deck. But like why? Why? Wait a minute. It says you may. So you could let this guy just sit in the active spot? Because it says, oh, okay. It says with everything attached to it, you can go ditto with this thing, okay? So people have made that with the previous, I think it was Absol or something. No, it was Purloin. His evolution. Liepard. So they did this where but the thing is they put all the cards away. And it wasn't too reliable because it was a stage 1. And people are wondering if like why couldn't they just do it with all the cards with it? This is a faster deck. Oh my gosh. So like let's say your opponent gets him under like 1 HP. He's like, yeah, bye-bye. It just disappears in your deck. Because if you just want to. That's pretty good because that's an early game aggressor, especially if you use turn 2, you would get that bullet. Boom, instantly. We have the teal mask. Wait. Okay, no. I was tripping. Okay. The teal mask ogre pawn. Ability, soothing wind. Each of your Pokemon that has any energy attached to it recovers all special condition and cannot be affected by special condition. People can put that in every deck. That's the problem I see with this card. It's not a problem, it's a good thing. The reason I say it's a problem is because that's my entire gimmick. Why Pokemon? That is my entire gimmick. Heck, my name is Dr.Debuff. I'm all about that special condition. And you had to make this guy, this man, the myth, the legend, Ogerpon, and stop him from stopping me. Me. But his energy leaf, oh, that's a good attack. I like what you're doing there. His ability, how freaking dare you? I already hated Arceus, even though I kind of use him a lot. But that's just mean. That's just mean, man. That's my whole gimmick. We got Alolan Marowak. Look at that. You're getting everybody. Special conditions. Why couldn't it just be me? Okay, it says your 2 energies does 4 damage, has 100 HP. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned. Okay, so that's actually doing 60. Unless you have that little Ogerpon right there just messing up the whole game. Rusharam? We got frickin' Rusharam. 110 damage. Discard 2 fire energies from this Pokemon. I mean, people might run that. It'd be kind of hard to run it. I see the card that's upcoming. Okay. Pyroar, Litleo, they're just, average J-main, just Pokemon. Now, Oricorio. This thing's built different. It says, during your next turn, attacks used by your Pokemon do 20 more damage. So basically, this is just a red. This is just a red, just in a card. And the fact that you could run this, and then run a red. So you're doing 40 damage in the next turn. So you can retreat this guy. Use a Flame Patch, so you're not losing energies, and then bring on the next guy, Flame Patch, hit him with a 1-ton kill, big combo. So, pretty crazy. We have Blacifion EX, an Ultra Beast, by the way. So it still says Ultra Beast, which is crazy. Also, they also have other cards right here that I'm not looking at yet. 1 energy. Your opponent's active Pokemon's now burned. And then Pop Punk. Discard 3 fire energies from this Pokemon. So, possibly doing 20 damage, unless they have Ogerpon. I'll have to see what the community thinks about this one. I definitely want to try and make this into a deck. It looks awesome. But yeah, the Score Bunny. Okay, we got Score Bunny. Does 20 damage, 60 HP. You know. Okay, then we got Raboot, 80 HP. Does 40 damage. Alright, now here we go. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. You see funny? Let's find out what Lyra says about that. Yeah, let's see what Lyra says. Because Lyra doesn't care. Lyra do not care. Lyra's gonna say, I bet. And you're gonna go 120 again. Bam! So, and 0 retreat cost. So yeah, you could literally... I'd run this with baby Pokemon. 1000%. You run this with baby Pokemon, run Lyra's, 120, 120, 120. And then you get like an extra opponent. Can you breathe? They say no, 120. Okay, we got Heat Flamed Mask, Ogerpon. Flip a coin. If heads, take 2 fire energies from your energy zone and attach it to one of your bench Pokemon. I mean, it's a ramper, alright? It's a lot dependent on if you get heads. Like, let's say you get tails for like 3 times in a row. Actually, no. You know what? Take that back. Let's look at this from a different point of view. I think maybe you'd run this to do damage to your opponent instead of running Moltres. Because Moltres half the time you're getting tails anyways. So like if you're running this, you're not losing 2 points. Well, yeah, you're losing. Yes, you're using 2 energies, but I'd say this with Charmeleon could go crazy. You use turn 1 or turn 2 if you go turn 2. You play Ogerpon, or not? You put energy on Ogerpon, and then you also evolve a Charmeleon, putting energy also on Ogerpon, which now gives him that. You can also run Will if you really wanted to, because Will can go crazy. Oh my gosh. Because that's 2 energies onto your guy, onto your Charmeleon. Then you put energy on him, and then if you run Flame Patch, you can just retreat, same turn, evolve into Charizard, and do 250 damage. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a little broken. Yeah. Okay. Got Alolan Vulpix, 20 damage. We got Alolan Ninetales. During your opponent's next turn, they can't take any energy from their energy zone and attach it to their active Pokemon. Finally. We have a new Banette. And this one, it's heavy. So, run that with some Team Rocket. Run Team Rocket with Cyrus's. Run Greninja. Run Greninja! Because running Greninja would be kind of cracked. Oh my gosh. We got Galarian Mr. Mime. 70 HP though for 20 damage. He's a bit heavier, except he don't think he evolves. He has evolved. Okay, I did not know that. No. 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 Maybe. No. No. Let's move to the next one. Delibird. Flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 70 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. If tails, heal 30 from your opponent's active Pokemon. Run Claydol. Run Baltoy. Because then you're not healing your opponent's Pokemon. But then again, it is 2 energies. It has 80 HP, so it's kind of like that wouldn't be worth it. Mudkip. Okay, 60 HP, 20 damage for 1 energy, not bad. Marshtomp. 2 energies for 40, 90 HP. Swampert. Discard a random energy among the energy attached to all Pokemon, both yours and your opponent. But does 30 damage. Oh, and you can put a heavy helmet on him. Discard 3 energies to 150. Having 230 HP, you could put a heavy helmet on this big boy. Discard 2 random energies among the energies attached to all Pokemon. Dang it! I was kind of hoping that'd be your opponent. It really should be your opponent, but man, what a big beefy boy! Look at that beefy boy. That is a good card. Okay. Vanillite, 60 HP, doing 20. We got Vanillish. 1 energy does 40, has 80 HP. We got Vanillix. If one of your Pokemon uses Sweet Scent Relay during your last turn, this attack does 60 more damage. So they finally added Sweet Relay for this. That's actually really... Wait, hold on. Isn't this just... If you think about this, you could run this by itself. But isn't this literally just, what's his name? It's like Togekiss Evolution. During your opponent's next turn, they can't play any item card from their hand. For 1 energy, doing 20. So this is just a stronger Chingling that needs an energy. Well, they messed that one up. A new fossil Pokemon. Amora. 2 energies does 50 damage. It has 100 HP, which is actually kind of cracked, especially for a Pokemon like that. Ooh. Okay, so this is a deck where you want to go all in to Aurora. But man, what would you run this with? Because this doesn't have that much like energy, like that much to back up with it. You could run heavy. You could run... I mean, I guess you'd run Jellicent. Maybe you run Jellicent, Greninja, and Aurora. Because you'd want to wait till your opponents have their Mega out. Use this, discard 2 water energies, paralyze them. They can't do anything to the turn. And you try and get more energies or something? Very interesting. 150 HP, 3 energies does 90. Has a 3 tree cost of 3. You have Choodle, you have Dreadnought, 120 for 4 energies. No thank you. We have Spit Out Shot, another Cramorant. We have 1 energy, 30 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So that's like a Hitmonlee. We got Arrokuda. We have Barraskewda. 1 energy does 40 damage for 100 HP. Ooh, we have a new Ogerpon. Wellspring Mask Ogerpon. Flip a coin. If heads, attack does 40 damage to one of your opponent's bench. Oh wait, actually, hold on. But this deck also does 4 to your front. But it's only if you get heads, it does to the bench. No. This Pokemon does 10 damage to itself, does 30 damage. Okay, so that's kind of just like Litleo, or Litten, I think. Here we are. If a stadium card is in play, this Pokemon has no retreat cost. Yeah. This attack does 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Alright. Well, we got Zapdos for 100 HP. One other Pokemon, either yours or your opponent, is choosing at random and do 100 damage to that Pokemon. How many heavy hitters are they bringing into this game? We got Plusle. Flip a coin if hedge, your opponent's now paralyzed. No. We got Minum. If Plusle's on the bench, this attack does 10 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. I mean, it's cute. It's adorable. No. We got Toxel. 1 electric, 1 colorless, 60 HP, does 30 damage. Oh, and it has a full art. I cannot wait to see that. Another EX. Okay, we got 150 HP, 90 damage. This attack does 30 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon that has damage on it. So basically, what you're trying to tell me now is that you would want to run this with Spiritomb. I know dang well you might have thought I was going to say Minum or Plusle. No. But whoa. Because the reason I said Spiritomb, I mean, or Elekid. But like, Spiritomb can be really goated. So you would run Pichu, get Spiritomb online quickly, start charging up Toxicity, and start doing damage. And then Toxicity comes out doing 9 damage to the front, and then 30 to everybody. Boom, boom, boom. 3 turns later, that's 90 on every single person. So, that actually is pretty awesome. Okay, we got Tadbulb. Take 1 energy from your energy zone and attach to this Pokemon. So this is upgraded, like this is like a new Memetal. I mean, turn 2, you'd be doing 80 damage and having 130 HP with 3 energy for retreat cost. I mean, that is... You'd also have like 150. So, I mean, that'd be kind of broken. We have Galarian Ponyta. 10 damage. Galarian Rapidash. If you have 5 or more energy, psychic energies in play, the deck does 60 more damage. So it does like about 100 damage for 1 energy. If you're running with like, I don't know, like Mega Gardevoir. We got Buffet. This attack does 10 damage to itself. Does 80 damage. 2 colorless, 1 psychic. No. Also, for all psychic types, don't look at the retreat cost because there is going to be a supporter card that just says -2. So it's kind of broken. Okay, we got Snubble, 2 energies, colorless to 30. Gramble, 3 psychic, does 90. No. Ralts, your opponent's extra was now confused. That's fun. Curlia, 1 energy to your. Oh, thank you for adding a good Curlia. Gardevoir, take 2 energies from your energy zone and attach it to one of your bench like selected Pokemon. I like that. We have Mega Gardevoir. Take 3 energies from your energy zone, attach it to your psychic Pokemon any way you like. I like that a lot, but I like this one more. That's kind of broken. They have Litwick, Lampent. Whoa. This attack does 20 more damage for each supporter card in your discard pile. Okay, this is like a reverse Delcatty. Wait, so it does 60 plus 20 more for every. Okay, that is a pretty good card. At the beginning of your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, put a random psychic Pokemon from your deck into your hand. I am using this card every game, as soon as it comes out. We got Punkaboo, 1 energy does 20 damage. We have Gourgeist, discard a card from your hand. If you can't, this tech does nothing. 1 energy for 70? Wow. I can't tell if that's good or bad. Got Mimikyu, as you probably can see from the trailer. When this Pokemon is first damaged by an attack after coming into play, this prevents that damage. So, Mimikyu kind of just stops all damage on his first turn. We have Synestia. Flip a coin. If heads during opponent's next turn, they do no damage or effects to this Pokemon. Poltergeist. Once during your turn, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve any Pokemon, you may have your opponent shuffle their hand into their deck for each remaining point your opponent needs to win. They draw a card. Is this just a Mars? But it's a card? Okay. I see some playability with that. This attack does 7 damage to one your opponent. Nope. The second I see something that's 3 energies to do damage to your opponent's active to your opponent's magic Pokemon. No, thank you. Only exception was with Zapdos. That's pretty good. It's also basically Slugma. So, nah. We got Sandshrew. Flip 2 coins, attack to 20 damage for each one. Sand Slash, the same thing, but does 30 for 3. Ooh. Machop. Discard a stadium card in play. Finally. Oh, nope, going too fast. Okay. Machoke. 1 energy does 40. I like that new Machoke. We got discard the top card of your opponent's deck for 2 energy doing 80. We have a brand new fast Machamp. Okay. 1 energy does 10 damage for Cubone. Okay. Meditite. Okay, Medicham. If this Pokemon has any second energy attached to it, it does 50 more damage. Okay. Oh, I thought I was going to tell you, but no, there's a promo one coming out soon. We have Raggenrola. We got Boldore. Does 3 energies, does 70 damage. Goliath. Also, by the way, I never knew this Pokemon existed. I only knew about Boldore and Rock'n'Rolla. Goliath. 4 energies. This attack does 140 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. 190 HP though. I mean, I've run Lyra, but like, what would you Lyra? I mean, you could write Lyra into a baby Pokemon to immediately bring him out again and do it again. I mean, that's most logical. Probably the best you could do. We got Drillbur. We haven't got these guys before. Tyrunt. 200 is for 90 HP. Does 60. Tyrantrum. 150. If you have fewer Pokemon in play than your opponent, this attack does 80 more damage. You could put a heavy helmet on this thing. Look at this baby man. 180 damage. Watch out. Because this card can be comboed with Lucario. So that's 200 damage. But, I mean, since it's effect, I don't think you really want to, but I'm just saying. Okay, this attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. I already have this card. But they just made it a new card, okay. Phalanx does 20 damage. If you have another one in play, this Pokemon's attacks do 20 more damage, and I also take 20 less. So that's actually pretty cool. I actually like that. Okay, we have this one. I like this Ogerpon a lot. Flip a coin. If heads, during your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 100 minus damage from attacks. So, if I get heads, he now has 180 HP. Just think of that. Okay, a Alolan Meowth. Discard a random energy from your opponent's active Pokemon if you get heads. Okay. Persian, 40 damage. Grimer. Okay. Grimer. Wait. No. No. I was like, yeah. And I was like, wait a minute. No. It says basic Pokemon in play. Both yours and your opponent's have no abilities because of the power of alchemy. First of all, I thought that was really good. I thought that was amazing. And then I realized I can't combo that with my Nihilego because it happens to be a basic. Dang it. Got Galarian Zigzagoon, Galarian Liloon, Galarian Obstagoon, which, if you didn't know, this is a 10 times stronger version of Weavile EX. So that's, I'm going to be making that deck insanely fast. We have 3 energies, that's 7 damage. During your opponent's next turn, if the opponent tries to use an attack, the opponent has to flip a coin. If Tilda does nothing. Basically Magnezone. But, you know, dark. A new Spiritomb. Okay, wow. Okay, well, this is crazy. This is crazy. If this Pokemon is in the active spot and is knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, do 10 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. I mean, like, you could run this instead of running the old one and run this instead with Toxtricity, which allows you to put more energies on Toxtricity. I mean, actually, that might be better. Only because it makes your opponent have to take all the damage at the very end of their turn. Then Toxicity comes in, dealing 30 to everybody else. Which means it would be 40 on all the bench. Which would one-shot all baby Pokemon. Where am I? Okay, I'm right here. Purloin, flip a coin. If heads, shuffle a random card from your opponent's hand to their deck. Flipping 3 coins, 30 damage for each one. Oh no, flip a coin if heads does 30 more damage. Okay. No. We got Scraggy. 20 damage for dark energy. Scrafty. If this Pokemon has more energies attached than your opponent's active one, this deck 50 more damage. No. This Pokemon is really only... No, I can't. Maybe. But you have to make a deck surrounding this guy. And his damage output's not worth it. Yveltal. Discard a random energy from both active Pokemon. I mean, by the time he gets online, it'd be too late anyways. So you'd have to run this with Team Rocket's Grunt. But, I mean, it's a pretty good card. Oh my god, I'm looking too far ahead. Okay. Flip a coin. If heads, discard your opponent's active... Oh, that's funny. That's funny, right? As a joke, right? That's funny. Because that is literally Aerodactyl. But a basic. With Lusamine. So if your opponent's like, you know, bringing their big strongest guy out with their Charizard, the Y, you just go over here, flip 1 coin with Will, and they're gone. They're gone. I mean, okay. Galarian Mouth. Does 20 damage. Galarian Berserker. Once during your turn, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may put 2 random Pokemon tool cards from your discard pile into your hand. That sounds like there's a card in here that discards Pokemon tools. Maybe that guy. Got Mawile. Mega Mawile. This is a cool freaking card. I should let Pokemon leave the active spot. This Pokemon's Heat Up Crunch attack does 30 more damage. So I don't know if it immediately starts doing 90 or if it starts off doing 60. Got Brino Excadrill. Ferroseed, Ferrothorn. Flip a coin if it has 60 more damage. Galarian Sunfisk. During your opponent's next turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, when your opponent's active Pokemon retreats, attack does 4 damage to the new active Pokemon. It fits well. We got Honedge. We got Dual Blade. Flip 2 coins. One does 4 damage for each heads. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes minus 80 damage from attack. Oh, your opponent's active Pokemon EX. That more means about the new meta. We got Bagon. 20 damage, colorless. Shelgon, 100 damage, 100 HP, does 1 fire, 1 water, does 60. Salamence. Flip a coin if tails, this Pokemon takes 50 damage to itself. So you'd want to run Will. But I mean, like, oh my god, this is a good card. The reason I'm saying it's a good card, you have baby Pokemon for both these energy types. You can run dual type energy and run baby Pokemon. Just run 2 of each. So not only you have dual energies, so you're getting all the ones you need. You got 2 Mantiques and 2 Magpies. This thing is about to be doing so much damage so quickly. We got a new Meowth. If any damage is done to this Pokemon, flip a coin if it has prevent that damage. Draw a card. This is just an infinite drawing engine. Oh my god, that's the new Immersive. 200 to 60. You got Kangaskhan. Flip a coin if heads, this attack does 30 more damage. For 3 energies, no thanks. Okay, I need to take a swig of this real quick because that is a lot. Let's see. Ooh. Double Punching Family does 80 damage. This attack is used twice in a row. The second attack does 40 damage. If the first attack knocks out your opponent's active Pokemon, the second attack is used after your opponent chooses a new active Pokemon. I love this card. It may not be meta, but it's a new Spice of Life card, and I like it and I want it. Oh, I almost skipped a whole bunch of them. We got Furret, 40, same old. Smeargle, once during your turn, if this one was in the X spot, you may look at a random supporter card from your opponent's hand. Use the effect of that card as its ability. So theoretically, you could run double Smeargle, have 1 energy on the Smeargle in the front. Boom. If you see that they have a professor, you can retreat it again and draw another 2 more cards. Because it says once during your turn, if this Pokemon, it's talking about this Pokemon itself. That's insane. Acrobatics Lugia. This stuff 2 coins attack does 40 more damage for each heads. It does 80 though. I mean, if you want to make a Lugia deck, go ahead. Because I actually be comboed with Ho-Oh. And it's better than Ho-Oh, so you do you. Swallow, once during your turn, you may switch your opponent's active basic Pokemon to the bench. It's a faster version of Pidgeot. I still like Pidgeot. Slack off. Your opponent's now asleep. Flip a coin of tails, it does nothing. This attack does 90 damage for 20. That's actually pretty crazy. And Slack King. If this Pokemon's in the active spot, whenever you attach energy okay. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, whenever you attach energy from your energy zone to it, it is now asleep. Okay, that's way too much nerfing on this man. Discard a red energy from this Pokemon. Does 150 damage for 3 energy. That is way too much nerfing on one man. Obviously you'd run Comfey, but like, wow, double nerfed. He got nerfed because he's always asleep, and he's always discarding energies. This man is gonna be always nerfed. Good luck. We got Spinda. This Pokemon's now confused. We got Tornadus. If a Stadium card's in play, the attack does 40 more damage. Okay. We got Diggersby. This attack does 10 damage to each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. No. This attack also does 10 damage to each of your bench Pokemon. So this does to mine. Yeah, I'm never using you. Anyways, we got Furfrou. This Pokemon takes 20 damage from attacks. Does 70 for 3 energies. Nope. Got Tandemaus. Put 3 random cards from among Tandemaus and Mousehold from your deck onto your bench. Okay, so the reason why I'm acting like this right now is because this is the first card we've ever got that allows its stage 1 evolution to not need a basic. It just says put 3 random cards from among Tandemaus and Mousehold from your deck onto your bench. It just skips the basics, which is kind of crazy. What does evolution do? Mousehold. Flip a coin for each Tandemaus and Mousehold you have in play. Oh, I almost died there. So 60 times 4. So 120. I mean, you can get heads for how many times? So 180. You can go higher than that. Only because if it's a basic. That's crazy. We got the new jaw fossil. Wait a minute. If this play this card as if it was a 40 HP basic colorless Pokemon. Now I know dang sure that this little colorless symbol was not there before. They added that for some reason, and there must be a reason why. Lucky Ice Pop. Heal 20 damage from your... Heal 20 damage from your active Pokemon. If you heal any damage from in this way, flip a coin if heads, put the Lucky Ice Pop back in your hand instead of the discard pop. So, I mean, if you just keep getting lucky, you could just keep recycling it. That is actually pretty cool. We got Sail Fossil. Also a colorless Pokemon. I don't think I've ever seen it say colorless. Protective Poncho. As long as this Pokemon this card attached to is on the bench, prevent all damage done to it to that Pokemon by your opponent's attacks and abilities. And abilities? This is what Blastoise would need. Blastoise is back. Mega Blastoise. because it literally stops because of Mega Blastoise constantly from abilities, which means Greninja is now useless. Metal Core Barrier. If this card is attached to one of your Pokemon, discard it at the end of your turn. That Steel Pokemon is attached and takes 50 damage from attacks from your opponent's active Pokemon. Okay. So I mean, it's kind of like an item, but just a tool, I guess. Diantha, we already know what that does. Sightseer, Juggler. You can use this card only if your Pokemon in play have 3 or more different types of energy attached. Move all energy from each of your bench Pokemon to your active Pokemon. You can use this card only if your Pokemon in play have 3 or more different types of energies attached. I can't tell if that sucks or not. It sounds like it sucks. Got Piers. You can only use if you have an Obstagoon, a Galarian Obstagoon in play. Discard 2 red energies from your opponent's active Pokemon. That is broken. Training Area. Attacks used by your Stage 1 Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponent, do 10 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. Dope. Yeah, the Starting Planes. Each basic Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponent, gets 20 HP. Oh, wait, I thought this would be basic grass Pokemon, but no, it's just each basic Pokemon in play. Oh boy, that's gonna be scary. Okay, we already know this one does. This one's pretty broken. We got the full arts. We got Cagnia. We got some cool ones like Reshiram. Whoa. That's cool. Yeah, I'm sure to be scrolling down so you guys can see everything. Those are the immersive arts. I love that Meowth's getting love. Got Mega Mawile. Goliath looks awesome. Oh, a shiny Magby. And shiny Mantike. And shiny Pichu. Ooh, Latias and Latios are getting shinies. Ooh, shiny Kabuto, shiny Kabutops. So a bunch of the baby Pokemon and fossils are getting so much love, and I love it. Shiny Magby, or not Magmar. Whoa, 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 whoa. Shiny Sylveon, shiny Umbreon, shiny Espeon, shiny Flareon, shiny Lugia, shiny Ho-Oh, Donphan, Kingdra. And we got the Protected Poncho and Meloetta. Wow, that is a bunch of cool freaking cards. Oh my gosh. You know, I'm very excited for all the new cards that are coming. I cannot wait to start making decks. Alright, well, if you guys enjoy